And good afternoon or good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Trading Tech Talk. So my name is Daniel Sinek, and I'm super excited to be back on the air, so to say. We've taken a small break over the summer, which I believe is understandable. And now we're back ready to go with a lot of new exciting topics. And today's topic, in fact, is one of the ones that's dearest to my heart. It's on the topic of auto optimization. And what this means, we'll find out together today. Because, who knows, or God knows, what are the optimal settings for an indicator? It's really tough to find out. It's typically up to guesswork. But in an age where everything is driven by computers, PC power, computing power, shouldn't there be a better way to find the optimal parameters for you? In my opinion, yes. So we have spent a good part of the summer to research this topic, and we're going to present you what we came up with today. So the topic of auto optimization. But before I get started, just a bit of housekeeping. As you know, trading is risky and not suited for everyone. And if you trade, make sure to use risk capital. Should you use risk capital, it will not affect your lifestyle. When it comes to backtest results or hypothetical performance, keep in mind that these are not necessarily indicative of future performance. All right, so now that the lawyers are happy, what do we have planned for today? Well, first of all, with me today are Homer in the middle here and Nicola. They will both be manning the chat, and they will also, interrupt me and ask me any questions that may come up throughout this talk. So if you have questions, please write them into the Q&A section of Zoom. And Homer and Nicola, they will check them out and get back to you, or perhaps bring them to my attention. If you are missing Rainer, Rainer used to be also in our Tech Talks. We made a small formatting change, so he will now be supporting us primarily in the back end, in the preparation of these Tech Talks, but he will not be on the air with us anymore. All right, so a few words about us. So we are Trading Indicators, and we are running an online store called tradingindicators.com. And in this store, if you go to our website, you'll see many different trading indicators for different platforms, TradingView, Thinkorswim, Modifwave, NinjaTrader, and so forth. And what you see on this online store is really a selection of indicators that we have built over the years and the ones that we found most useful. I have personally built over 500 trading indicators and automated strategies. Many for different clients all over the world who have contacted me and say, hey, Daniel, can you help me automate something? Or I have an idea about an indicator. Can you help me program it? And this used to be my business for many years. And so I've written many of them. But then we thought, well, if they're useful for some traders and perhaps for me personally, why not for everyone? And this is why we created our online store, tradingindicators.com. And in the beginning, it was just me, but now we have a powerful team. Two of our most important members are Homer and Nicola, but we also have a whole support team, developers, traders who will help us or are helping us creating new innovations in trading. All right, so, but enough about ourselves, but perhaps maybe just one more word. We're not just doing trading indicators, but we're also building all kinds of trading solutions, such as trading dashboards. You may have heard about the Zillion dashboard, for example, which is one of our creations. We're building trading apps, fully automated strategies that do everything automatically: trade entry, trade management, trade exits. We've built trade scanners. And of course, you probably have heard me, or perhaps not, at live events talking. So this is something that I enjoy. Because my background, as you may know, is from academia. I used to be a researcher and a teacher in computer science and software engineering, and I've taught many courses throughout the years, primarily in the classroom, not so much on Zoom, but nonetheless, it was presenting what we've done to others, educating students is dear to my heart, and I enjoy this very much. So thank you again for being with me here today. All right, but again,
Daniel, just
yes.
just something to our users. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We've missed you guys over the summer. We've been working really hard on what Daniel will present today. I just want to ask you to please put your questions in the Q&A box right now. I'm trying to get the chat box fixed, but for now I don't see it. Once, and if I get it fixed during the session, I'll write a note in there. If not, I'm on the Q&A box.
Great. Yeah, thanks, Soma. Okay, so what has happened since our last Tech Talk? We've taken a small break over the summer, but finally we're back. And the format is somewhat the same as before. So we're going to cover today what's new at Trading Indicators, like a little review of what we've been working on, what we've been up to during the summer. And then we're going to spend quite a bit of time on the topic of auto optimization, and in particular for our Power Bundle 360 indicators. We're going to have lots of demos. We're going to look at charts, examples, and so forth. And of course, if you have questions, please put them into the Q&A box, and I'll be happy to address all of them. So I brought plenty of time with me, so make sure if you have questions, write them there, and we'll address all of them. All right, so if you're wondering, where can I find this Tech Talk? Maybe you have to drop out earlier. Perhaps you could only attend at the end. All our Tech Talks are being recorded, and you can find them on our YouTube channel. It will typically take a couple of days because we always edit them just a bit to take off all the interruptions that may happen throughout a live event. But once it's edited, they're all available on our YouTube channel. And if you're wondering, where can I find this YouTube channel? Well, it's quite easy. Simply go to our homepage, tradingindicators.com, and in the top right corner, you see a YouTube icon. Simply click on it, and this will bring you to our YouTube channel. All right, so what's new? What's happened? What's new with us? It's been a while. Well, we've been busy, and we went back to the drawing board a little bit for some of our products to research and investigate new exciting topics. One such topic, for example, is auto optimization. What this means, we're going to discuss in length today. Other things we've been busy with, and these will be topics of subsequent Tech Talks, are congruency between signals. So this means basically, what if two indicators give the same signal, the same buy signal, for example, within a very short period of time? Does this make the signal stronger? That price will actually go up or not? So that's a topic we've been busy with as well, and we are going to present this in a subsequent Tech Talk. We've also looked at supporting or powering our trading dashboards, such as Zillion, with live data and trade execution functionality. So that was a big event throughout the summer as well. This Tech Talk has now been revamped a little bit, a slightly new format where we will make every Tech Talk being very focused on one particular topic. We're also working on a new homepage, which has been in the making for, I don't know, half a year now. It's more tedious than we expected, but hopefully soon we will have a new homepage, a new design, which will make it much easier for you guys to find indicators that you might be interested in. You're going to have your own user space to find all the indicators that you've purchased, that you own, and so forth. All right, so this is basically what we've been up to, and this is also one of the reasons why we did not have the Tech Talks in the summer, because, well, we simply were busy with some other trading topics. Okay, so now today's topic, however, as mentioned before, is auto optimization. But before I discuss what this actually means, let's take a small detour. Let's talk about poker. Probably an image that most of you have seen already. Poker used to be on TV, on YouTube a lot, perhaps 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Now it's been, calmed down a little bit, but I'm pretty sure most of you have seen, and to some extent at least, a poker broadcast. And typically it looks like this. So you can see how many players are left in the hand. In this case, we have 2 players left. And you can see how many cards have been dealt already. In this case, 4 cards. And 1 card is yet to be dealt. But before this card is being dealt, every player has the chance to wager a bet. And depending on how confident the player is that he may win the hand, he will wager more or less, or perhaps even fold the hand altogether. So this is how poker works. So you wager in the hope that the next card will make your hand a winning hand. What is typically also displayed on a TV broadcast are the odds of succeeding for each player. But of course, these odds are only known to the person on TV, the ones watching TV. The players will not know these odds. Why is that? Well, it's quite simple because the player does not know what is the hand of the other player. This is unknown information for the player. Because of this, the player will not know typically what these odds are. But let's imagine for just 1 second or 1 minute, what if one of our players was a cheat and for some reason he stacked the deck and he knew or he knows what the hand of the other player is? If that was the case, the player could calculate his odds of winning this hand. For example, you might know, okay, my odds of winning the next hand is at 80%. What would you do as a poker player if you knew this information? So imagine if playing poker, you know what the chances of winning are before you wager, before you make your bet. Well, I believe the answer is quite easy. You would only wager if the odds are in your favor, and if they are not, you probably would fold the hand or wager only a little bit. Okay, makes a lot of sense. And in the long run, it doesn't mean or guarantee you will win this hand, but in the long run, you will win the tournament because in the long run, the statistics will simply be in your favor and you will win. Now, we have tried to apply the same concept of calculating the odds to trading. What if it was possible if for trading we could calculate what are the odds of winning our next trade? So imagine something displayed on the chart, which basically tells you what the odds that the trader will win the next trade is at 73% and 27% for the market. Wouldn't that be amazing? So this is something we've been investigating. How is it possible to display these odds or to calculate these odds, display them, make them available to the trader? And if these odds are available and the trader applies them to its trading strategy, does it actually make an impact? So this has been our research topic over the summer, and the results of this I'm going to show you today. Now, in other words, basically, if you knew as a trader what are the odds of having a successful trade before taking it, what would you do? Now, I guess the answer to this is quite simple. You would only take the trade if the odds are indeed in your favor. Okay, so let's investigate this topic just a bit more. Now, can this be done? Is it possible somehow that we can calculate these odds? So we have developed a couple of years back already a technology which is called the instant efficiency technology. What this does, it will display to you on the chart, historically speaking, what have been the win rates of our long signals and what has been the win rate of our short signals, historically speaking. And what we do with this information, we basically calculate these odds and display it on the chart. And then the trader can consume it and use it to, perhaps make the next trade or perhaps reject the next trade. All right, so how is this possible? Well, it's thanks to IET, our instant efficiency technology. As I said before, it's basically a back test. It's performed on historical data, and it shows you the historical win rate for the long signals and the short signals on the chart. Now, okay, we're displaying some information on the chart based on historical data. But the next question now is, what are these odds? What are these percentages actually telling me? Is this information actually useful? Well, let's see. Let's discuss this just a bit more. Is this historical information useful for future trade making? All right, so we call this the power of odds, because in our conclusion, and this is one of the results over the summer, the answer is yes, because it will allow you to make a truly informed trading decision should a new trade signal come up. And of course, When you do this, you will only take a trade when the odds are stacked in your favor. If they are not, you will not trade. And oftentimes, not to take a trade is the best trading decision that you can make. All right, so, and basically this boils down to you will only trade when market conditions are indeed beneficial. But again, we are displaying this information on the chart, but what is really the impact of this? So we investigated this over the summer by performing a comprehensive backtest. In fact, it was a portfolio test performed over 84 big US stocks, such as Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, and so forth. We developed a swing trading system for this. So we would swing trade all these stocks applied to the 1 hour chart. And the test was performed from January 2022 up until a couple of weeks ago. Average trade duration, as that was a swing trading system, was 1 week on average. Over this year or this period, 6,827 entry signals, both long and short, were generated. And the way we performed this back test actually was performed as a portfolio test where we combined the results of all these stocks with all these signals together to see what is the overall portfolio performance. And the first result that we've seen is, well, if we took or had we taken all these signals unfiltered, with, we take every single one of them, the performance would have been as follows. Not very good, as you can see here. So 6,827 signals equals 6,827 trades. All right, so not great. Now, then we rerun the test and we only took the signals where the trading odds, which we calculated based on historical performance, were in our favor. And now look at this performance. So instead of taking all the signals, we only took roughly 1/3 of them, and only when the odds at the time of that signal was in our favor. Okay, it's very important to understand, because when we calculate the odds, we have to timestamp these odds, because it's important to know, okay, what were our odds when a signal comes out in April 2022? What were the odds at this point in time? Okay, because that's when we actually see the odds as a trader as well, because we have to simulate real-time trading. Same for a signal that came out in June 2022, sorry, we would take the odds for a long signal for that particular stock as they were on this date. And we only took the trade if the odds were actually in our favor. And as you can see, the performance is day and night. Yeah. So it significantly improved the performance of the trading system. And this gave us a lot of confidence that what we are displaying on the chart is actually useful for future performance. All right, so just motivated us a lot to continue with our research. And
Daniel, before you go on, I've got a couple questions here. So one wants to know, can the data be tested from more of a longer range, like 10 years?
It could, but we didn't do it. We did it from the beginning of the year, but which was already more than 6,000 trades. But in theory, yes, but we didn't do it. Yeah. If had we used, for example, a daily time or a trading system on the daily time frame, we would have went back multiple years. But for the hourly, I thought this was a good enough or long enough period to go back just to prove our point. And the fact that we had more than 6,000 signals, I believe this was a big enough number.
Definitely, if it was a higher time frame, you would need to have a longer look back, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So in this case, it was the hourly time frame and went back about 8-9 months.
I have a question here. If was there an average positive performance for the sweet spot trades?
No, we didn't do this. So what we did is we used an automated solution to back test this, and thus I probably can find the exact stats about the two trades again, but I cannot remember or recall what was the exact difference in terms of trade duration, multiple winners in a row, Sharpe ratio, all these things I didn't see. But that was also not the point. The point was that I wanted to see if there's an impact. And if there's an impact, is it a positive one? And I think you can see this by this equity, the change in equity graph evolution.
And I think you also answered Sean's question, who wanted to know about Sharpe ratio.
Yeah, I don't recall. It was calculated by the backtester. I don't recall what it was, but I can guarantee you it was better for the filtered version than for the unfiltered version.
Okay, those are the questions for now. And I just want to remind everybody to please put your questions in the Q&A, because as of now, I can't actually see the chat. So please put them in the Q&A and you'll get them answered. Thanks.
Right, great. Thanks, guys. Okay, let me move on. All right, so we have built, and many of you probably already know this, a suite of indicators, which we consider IET-enabled indicators. What this means, it basically means you have access to these statistics right on the chart when you apply the indicator. So you apply the indicator and you'll see in the corner, typically the top right corner, what are the historical success rates for my long trades and for my short trades. And then you can consume this information as a trader and make a trading decision. And just a small recap, just in case you don't know what these indicators are. In fact, there are 3 indicators which have this technology built in. And we summarized or combined these indicators as our Power Bundle 360 package. And we call it that way, like 360, because we go full circle with the market conditions. So we have 1 indicator for trend trading, 1 for trading reversals or pullbacks, and 1 for trading breakouts, which happen often after a sideways consolidation. And as mentioned before, all these indicators do have IET built in. And just to recap real quick, the first indicator is called 1, 2, 3 strike, and it's our trend trading indicator. And it will give you or generate a buy signal if a strong long trend is established and detected. And the indicator does this by looking at 3 different dimensions. There's directionality, so price needs to move into a certain direction. There needs to be an increase in volatility and an increase in volume. And if all these 3 come together, a signal is generated. The second indicator is called divergence cloud. And as the name suggests, it's based on divergence. And we've come up with our own proprietary notion of divergence, which is basically comparing price action with volatility. And if we see a discrepancy, divergence is detected, and depending on which direction it happens, we might have bullish or bearish divergence. And this indicator is designed to detect either bullish reversals or pullbacks or bearish reversals or pullbacks. And the third indicator is called volatility crusher, designed to detect strong breakouts. And we define a strong breakout as a breakout which is likely to continue in the direction, where price is likely to continue in the direction of the breakout for quite some time. And we as traders can take advantage of that. So these are our 3 indicators. And before I continue talking, let's check out some charts real quick. So let me open up my trading view chart and just drag it over here. All right, so here we have a chart of Microsoft, and it's the 4-hour time frame. And we have applied 1, 2, 3 strike to this chart. If you remember, this is our trend trading indicator, and a signal either long or short is generated when a strong trend is detected. And as any good trend indicator, you need to wait a little bit to see if there's really something trending or not. So this is just by design. So for example, you can see here that price is moving up for a little bit already. Then we get an entry signal here. It's a bit hidden behind the price bars, but it's there nonetheless. And you can change all the visuals of the indicator. So we have the entry signal here, and then we exited the trade at these 2 occasions. Similar here for a short trade. Again, price been coming down for a bit. A short signal is generated, and then we stay short and exit this trade in 4 different places. And this is also by design, because we believe that everyone can just enter a trade, but once you're in a trade, you need to manage it. And the indicator does both for you. It shows you when to enter, but also when to get out of the trade. All right, so this is 1, 2, 3 strike. And as promised, on the top right corner, you see our little statistics box. And in particular, you can see what were the historical success rates for long trades and for short trades. And these are always based on a certain look back period. In this case, we took all trades which happened from April 2016 up until today. And we looked at all these signals, and then we calculated these success rates for you and displayed them on the chart. All right, so this is pretty cool. You can see that, well, this has been working out quite nicely. 88% of our short trades were successful and 71% of our long trades were successful. This is actually a really good statistic. So Microsoft works. It's a great symbol for 1, 2, 3 strike for some reason. And I say it's really good because with this indicator, typically your winners are bigger than your losers. And combine this with having these kind of odds, so this gives you a very powerful indicator. And this indicator works really nicely on Microsoft for some reason. So I'm not a fundamentalist, so I don't question these things. I'm not exactly sure why Microsoft works so nicely. It just does. And I believe for you as a trader, you don't need to always question everything. You just need to understand what is currently working and what is not working. And then you just make a very simple decision to focus on what is currently working. And this is how I live my life in general, and also how I trade. Okay, now this is 1, 2, 3 strike. And let me just show you one thing. Like any good indicator, our indicators do have settings which you can change to fine-tune this indicator to the symbol and time frame at hand. So for example, if I, let's say, change the volatility period here from, let's say, 7 to maybe 14, observe what happens to the stats. So I'm changing it, applying it, and now the stats after a little time will update. And you can see, well, this change didn't really do anything good for me for the long side. It went down to 29%, but the short efficiency increased a little bit. Interesting. So maybe let's change it back to 10 or something. Let's do this. Again, it will automatically recalculate and tell you what are the new odds. In this case, no change. Maybe let's play around with this parameter. Maybe set it to 20 and so forth. Oh, this was a really good change. And so forth. So you can play around with these configurations to see which ones actually will give you a better trading results, historically speaking. And this is one of the advantages of also having these statistics displayed on the chart, because they will show you right away whether a parameter change was actually in your favor or perhaps it was counterproductive. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3 strike, but let me move on to the next one. Because we still haven't talked about auto optimization, which is the actual topic. So the second indicator is called divergence cloud. Let me just open up another chart. In this case, it's gonna be Apple. And I'll leave this. Go to Apple on a lower time frame. Apple on the 15-minute time frame, and as you can see here, similarly to 1, 2, 3 strike, you also see these entry signals here. The bigger triangles are entries. So here long, here's a short entry signal, and these smaller triangles are your exits where you would scale out of your position. And what's also cool about this particular indicator, it will actually show you on the chart in terms of these glowing clouds. That's where the name divergence cloud comes from. It shows you whether we currently have bearish divergence, if it's reddish, bullish divergence, if it's greenish, or no divergence altogether. Now, again, just like with 1, 2, 3 strike, we will see in the top right corner what are our historical success rates. In this case, 64% for the long side and 67% to the short side. All right, so this is our second indicator. And now we have one more, which is called volatility crusher. So let me move on. Volatility crusher on, in this case, oil, CL on the hourly time frame. And as you can see, we can use, I had our indicators on any asset class that you want. So they work on equities, on indices, futures, such as crude oil. They work on cryptos, on FX, and so forth. So this is volatility crusher. And as you can see, it looks a bit differently from the other indicators because this indicator is designed to trade breakouts, if you remember. And our idea of a breakout is when price makes a strong move, which is paired with abnormally high volatility, then we have found out that price is likely to continue to move in the direction of the breakout. For example, here we had a short entry signal, a breakout, we enter short and price kept eventually moving further downwards. Let me find a long entry signal. So you had a couple of short ones. Short actually worked out quite nicely. Here another one, and so forth. And you can also see just by perusing or going through the chart that we definitely had more winners on the short side than on the long side. So this long trade would have been stopped out eventually. Here perhaps too, and so forth. So we had 81% short efficiency and 55% long efficiency. And I can guarantee you, if I would be playing around with the parameters for this indicator, I could improve these statistics significantly. I'm not going to do it right now because, as you can imagine, this takes some time, and we still have to talk about auto optimization. Okay, so these are our 3 indicators, and let me now quickly go back to my slides. So what we've seen is the power of odds, of having these statistics on the chart, because they will not only tell you how well the indicator has been performing, historically speaking, but they will also allow you to see what is the effect of a parameter change. So if I change, for example, the volatility period parameter or the ATR period parameter from 7 to, I don't know, 9 or 12 or 14, what is the effect of that change? So without having these statistics on the chart, well, you would have to change the parameter, then go back to the chart, manually analyze the chart and all the signals to somehow calculate these odds in your head yourself, something you would never do. And perhaps you would only consider the last, I don't know, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and they may have all worked out. But if you go back further, historically speaking, this may not have been a good change of parameters. All right, so these are also where our odds can be very beneficial. Now, finding out, however, whether I should change my parameters or what should I tweak can be quite challenging for traders, even the most experienced traders and investors. Yeah, you may, and even if you would do it, if you could figure out how to do it, if you can perhaps find out a system how to systematically change parameters, you will eventually arrive at an optimal setting. It will, as you can imagine, take forever. It's going to be super tedious. You're going to go crazy. Nobody will do it because it's just insanity. It will take too long. Nobody can do this in the long run. And trading is a game of, or not a game, it's a profession of timing. And you cannot spend simply your entire day changing these parameters in the hope that you can find the optimal settings eventually. Well, now we've spent the summer to come up with a solution for this tediousness of finding out the correct parameters. And guess what the solution is? It's auto optimization. So basically, auto optimization means the indicator will find out the best parameters for you. It will do the heavy lifting for you, finding the best combination of parameters, which values to use, so that you, as a trader, can get the best trading signals using the optimal parameters. The best trading signals which have the highest odds of hopefully succeeding in a successful trade. All right. Now, how can this be done? Well, we've actually integrated the auto optimization feature into the next generation of our Power Bundle 360 indicators. And I'm really excited to showcase this to you now. So let me go back to the charts. So back to TradingView. And in fact, I didn't tell you before, but this is already has been the newest version, new generation of our indicators. If you have the older version, you probably have noticed that the statistics panel here now looks a bit differently. So this is already the new version. We just released it and completed it after months of development. And how does it work? So for this, let me switch back to our original symbol, which was Microsoft on the 4-hour chart. And if you remember, we had 1, 2, 3 strike applied to it. All right, so Microsoft is here. And you probably were wondering, well, how can I find the best settings? And what I did manually before I was playing around with some of these settings here, perhaps change this to, I don't know, 14, we see a parameter change, then I change something else and so forth. It's too tedious. You will not do it. So we have come up with a solution which will help you to do this automatically. which is our auto optimization feature. For this, I'm going to close down this parameter settings, and let's have a closer look at the statistics box in the top right corner. So what you can see here, you see the statistics for the current configuration, and it's based on manual settings because I just changed it manually. I played around with the settings manually. This is what this line here means. Settings used are the manual settings. But you can also see at the same time in this statistics box, what would have been or what are the optimal settings. This is shown in this line here, optimized settings. And in this case, optimized settings are set to auto number 4. And what we've done is basically we have put together 10 different combinations of settings, the ones that we think are most likely to give you, the best performance. And what the indicator will then do, it will go through all these 10 different settings. So if auto setting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up until 10, and it will backtest all 10 of them to find out which one of these settings are the best. And then we'll then use these settings to generate the signals for the indicator. So this is actually super simple to be done. So here you can see it's setting number 4, auto 4. You see this here? So what you will then do as a trader, you will go back to the indicator settings and change the settings used drop-down list from manual, because we use manual parameters here, to whatever value is given here. In this case, auto number 4. And once you do this, the auto setting number 4 will be applied, which have been determined by the indicator to be the best settings for this symbol and time frame. And look at the result now. Now our long efficiency has increased to 86%, and our short efficiency has increased to 100%. Wow, that's pretty cool, huh? And just a bit for a bit of behind the scenes logic, how did the indicator determine that this is the best setting? Well, it looked at the combined performance of long efficiency and short efficiency for all of the 10 presets that we had, and picked the ones with the largest sum of these two performances together. But you may ask now, I'm not really interested in trading anything long right now. The market is way too bullish. I don't want to trade long, and for good reason, perhaps. It's been the market is way too bearish. I'm sorry. I don't want to go long. It's not what the market sentiment tells me. I have a manual bias in my trading. And you may say, okay, well, since auto optimization looked at the combination of both long and short, maybe this is not really useful for me. Well, we've thought about this as well. You can actually now, in our indicator, tell the indicator, well, I only want to trade short by setting this trading style parameter here to shorts only. And once you do this, you will only see shorts on the chart. So all the long trades are gone. Long efficiency is not even calculated anymore. It's at 0% because there are no long trades anymore. And we only see the short trades. And it can happen that if you consider only the short trades, a different setting combination would have been deemed as optimal. In this case, it stayed the same at 4. But let me perhaps go to or change the trading style to long only. Maybe, I don't know, I'm guessing, I didn't try this out before. Perhaps now we have a different optimal setting. So let me change this to long only. I click OK. We will now only see the long trades. And yes, I was right. For only considering long trades, the optimal setting number 7 should be used. And you can see this here. So what you will then do, you go back to the settings and simply pick auto setting number 7. And you will get the signals for this configuration to be used. All right. So does this make sense so far? Are there any questions, Holmes?
Most of the questions are about getting the auto optimization feature and getting the new generation of the power bundle. And I've mentioned to everybody that you're going to be talking about that at the end of the presentation.
Yes, absolutely. If you can just be patient for another 10 minutes, I'll tell you all about how to get this latest version of our power bundle indicators. Okay, let's have a look at some of the other examples that we went through. So let's go to Divergence Cloud. If you remember, it was applied to Apple on the 15-minute chart. Again, you can see that the manual settings have been used, and we get a long efficiency of 64% and a short efficiency of 67%. All right, but you can also see that the optimal settings would have been settings number 8, auto 8, as you can see here. So let's try it out. Let's go back to my to the parameters and switch from manual to auto 8. I do this, it will recalculate, and you can now see once the recalculation is done, it takes a while, that now our long efficiency has improved to 82%, and the short efficiency has improved to an even 94%. So again, it's pretty cool. It's so fast, and I believe this is going to make a big impact in your life as a trader and your trading experience, because you don't have to manually and tediously adjust these parameters yourself anymore. It's being done for you. If you're wondering why we pick only 10 auto settings, this has to do with what TradingView currently can handle in terms of complexity. So we tried to give you a few more options. Like I think we played around with 50 settings. It was not supported by TradingView because we got a too complex exception when we applied the indicator. So we hit the bounds of what is currently possible with TradingView, and this is why we're giving you exactly 10 presets for the indicator, and the indicator will find the optimal one for you. Okay, and maybe one more example. Let's go to Volatility Crusher. We had it applied on our oil contract. So let me go here. Again, once it's loaded, you can see in the top right corner what are the current efficiencies for the manual settings. But you also see that the optimal settings is auto 6, auto number 6. So back to our parameters, we switch from manual to auto 6. Once done, everything will update, and you will get the performance with the optimal settings. You can see here that, it really improved. Now we have 100% in our look back period. And sometimes you may wonder, well, perhaps now we're very selective with these settings, perhaps too selective. There are not enough samples or signal samples considered in these statistics. Then you can simply increase the IET start date. This date basically tells you from when the back test was performed. In this case, it was performed from April 16, 2022. But that's the parameter that you can set in the settings of the indicator. All right. So this is basically what we came up with, auto optimization. And I hope you see the utility of this feature, because I strongly believe, I use it all the time now, that it will make your trading life so much easier and so much more pleasurable, because, doing this manually is super tedious. Okay, let me go back to my slides. And just to sum up, what we've seen here are what is the latest generation of our power bundle indicators. We have 1, 2, 3 strike, divergence, cloud, and volatility crusher. Every indicator will give you very clear entry signals, but also exit signals, because managing a trade, getting out of your trade is just as important. Whether you are a day trader, an investor, a swing trader, it doesn't matter, because our indicators, they run on all time frames and they support all asset classes. So whatever your trading style is, you can use these indicators. Real-time statistics are displayed for every indicator right on the chart in the top right corner. And with generation 3, the latest generation, you will also get auto optimization, which we have built into these indicators, and which I believe will make a big difference in your trading experience. All right, so this is the big new feature that we came up with. And if you're wondering, okay, is this something for me? Who should be using these indicators? Well, anyone, whether you're a trader, a day trader, investor, if you're interested in making better trading decisions and getting better trading results, I believe these indicators will help you to get there. Because in my opinion, they will allow you to make more informed trading decisions and only trade when market conditions are favorable. What we've seen here are charts where the indicator worked very nicely, because of course it was a demo of these indicators, but it may happen sometimes that, well, these indicators don't work for a particular symbol. We'll tell you statistics are not in my favor, but that's not a problem, because you would then simply not trade this symbol with this indicator, these indicators. They're not, somehow they don't match. As mentioned before, I don't question these things. I don't question why 1, 2, 3 strike, for example, works particularly well on Microsoft. I have no idea why. It just does. And that's all I need to know, because I can focus on symbols where these indicators work well. Okay. So now we have bundled up, or we just released this new version, this new generation of our Power Bundle with auto optimization. And as a special offer, we are going to release or give it away as a lifetime version currently. This is going to change because we're going to change our entire business very soon to a software as a service business. This basically means that we will do everything on a subscription basis, but only for a short period of time. We're going to give away lifetime access of these indicators. And if you're interested in this bundle, and the price is listed here, I invite you to check it out. Simply go to our homepage, tradingindicators.com/AO. And AO stands for auto optimization. So we made it very short. Go there and you get more information about each of the indicators included, which is 1, 2, 3 strike, divergence, cloud, and volatility crusher. 1, 2, 3 strike being our trend expert, divergence, our pullback finder or reversal finder, and volatility crusher, our breakout trader. And as you can imagine, as I mentioned before, they are all equipped with the statistics right on the chart, as well as the big new feature, the auto optimization functionality. All right, so this is the offer. Now, I imagine you probably have some questions. Now, one question I definitely foresee is what platforms are currently supported? Well, it's so new that we currently only support TradingView, but rest assured, other platforms are in the making. We're currently building out this feature for other platforms as well, where it is possible. So some platforms simply don't have the computational power to perform this kind of optimization. But where it's possible, we will include this feature. And if you're interested in locking in this price, because we are going to move very soon to a subscription model, but if you want to lock in this price, simply email us or email us at info@tradingindicators.com, or simply go to our homepage to the contact form. You can also just drop us a note there. You can be locked into this lifetime offer. Okay, so this is one question I believe some of you may have been asking. Another question I foresee is, what if I already have the Power Bundle? And I know for a fact that many of you have it already because I recognize so many names. No problem, just drop us a note and there will be a very easy upgrade option where you would only pay a small difference to what you've already paid. So no problem there at all. Just simply contact us again at info@tradingindicators.com or drop us a note on our homepage. And perhaps another question, what if I don't need all 3 indicators? So maybe I'm only interested in trend trading or breakout trading. Well, no problem. There are individual versions of each of these indicators available as well. In order to see them, simply go to our homepage, tradingindicators.com/products. And in the TradingView section, you see all the, well, you see the Power Bundle, that's the bundle listed there, but you will also see the individual indicators, and you can just check them out there and perhaps purchase one of them. And if you already have one, if you, for example, already have 1, 2, 3 strike, the regular version, I want to upgrade to the new generation of auto optimization, drop us a note and we will discuss update options with you. Okay, so now, Holmes, I believe there are probably some more questions, are there?
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of questions here. Can you move to the next slide, the offer slide, because people want that link. Okay, great. So just to clarify, if you use that link at the bottom, so tradingindicators.com/AO, you can directly purchase it for TradingView, Power Bundle Auto Optimization product. If you have a specific scenario like the ones that Daniel talked about, if it's just one indicator or if you already own the Power Bundle, just email us and we can get you guys set up. So first question, Okay, Frank wants to know, for the volatility crusher, do the calculations and the concept of auto optimization also apply to trading options?
That's a good question. So options are, I believe, are based on the they are based on an underlying stock. So if you take a signal of volatility crusher to construct your options trade based on, let's say you get a long signal, this will give you, well, basically it tells you that price is likely to move up, and you can structure your options trade accordingly because it's based on the underlying equity. So yes, I believe many of these signals can be used for options because they give you directionality. So if there's a buy signal on any of the indicators, basically it tells you that the indicator believes, or the logic of the indicator tells you that price, based on that logic, might move up.
And Daniel, Homa, if you don't mind if I interrupt, one other question that we saw a couple times was, we see that you're demonstrating futures and stocks, but does it also work well on cryptos like Ethereum or Bitcoin futures or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, we had some examples. I know, Nicola, you looked up some of these examples before this webinar. And if I just quickly go back here, I believe I had one here. So yes, the answer is yes, it does work.
They work
Very
great on
nice.
Ethereum futures, especially, and Bitcoin.
If I can find it, I don't know where it went, but
June 16th there, Ethereum USDT.
Oh, this one. Oh, that's why it was named. Yeah. So here we had volatility crusher applied. Let's have a look. Oh, it's Divergence Cloud, actually. So yeah, as you can see here, it's with very nice success rates. So if you just look at the signals, so you can tell oftentimes they are quite spot on for this crypto futures contract. But it doesn't have to be a crypto futures contract. Basically anything that has price action, we hit price bars, is well, the indicator can be used for, because it's an indicator at its very basic is based on price action and volume, and it combines this information to predict what may happen in the future.
Great.
Perfect. I have some other questions here. And Nicola, please chime in, since I know you were closely involved with the auto optimization feature. Okay, Alan wants to know, how often should the parameters be updated? Do you change the parameters based on asset?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you will find out, I probably didn't showcase this, but let me just go back to one of my examples here. I don't know, Microsoft maybe. This one here. So whenever you change symbol or even time frame or even chart types, if you go perhaps to a tick chart or Renko chart or whatever, you will get a different optimal settings because the price action will be different. So for example, if I change from Microsoft to, I don't know, IBM, a competitor, for example, IBM, here you will see now, oh my God, what's this? Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. If I change to IBM here, all right, there we go. You will see that from it's not auto 7 anymore, which is optimal. It's auto 2. Okay, you see this. So if I go now here to auto 2, you will see that auto 2 will give us the best settings.
And we're also set to long only here.
Oh, this is the long only version, yeah. At 43%. You know, market has been so bearish, you should not be surprised that you sometimes see, even with the optimal settings, something that's quite low. And you know, what I will do is I simply don't trade long right now with IBM, because long trades have not been working out properly. And this information to me is so useful as a trader, because I just stay away. And there are so many fish in the ocean. You have so many stocks you can trade. Don't force yourself on IBM only. Why would you? Focus on the ones that are currently working well.
Definitely. And also, why force yourself on the 4-hour time frame?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Here we're only looking at the long only results on the 4-hour. You know, on the 30-minute, long might be working out, but we're also not even looking at the shorts. So there's a lot of possibility.
Absolutely. So yeah, here longs work much better at 67%, for example. But I could, of course, enable shorts again and trade both directions, long and short. And we can see what would work. All the short side would work. You can see here, wow, 75% of short trades worked out. And this is not even the optimal setting. So we're using settings number 2. The optimal is actually settings number 4. So if I change this to 4, you probably can see a further increase. Yeah, it's even getting better. So yeah, that's how it works. So you can trade cryptos with it, equities, indices, futures, basically anything that has price, action, and volume can be used with these indicators.
Okay, great. So we have a lot of platform questions, and Nicola, if you could chime in here, that would be great. So Taupe wants to know if it will be available for NinjaTrader. We have other users that want to know about costs and TradeStation and just other platforms in general. And if you could comment on sort of the fact that there are differences in the capabilities of the different platforms, but also how the auto optimization feature may not look exactly the same in different platforms.
Definitely. So what we have on TradingView right now is we've created like the prototype or the initial version, and we maxed out the capacities of TradingView. So everything that can possibly be done for auto optimization on TradingView has been done, and it's reached its limit. We've actually, we get an error telling us that we've hit the complexity maximum on TradingView. We cannot go any further with our auto optimization. But for NinjaTrader and MotiveWave, these platforms can handle a lot more. So for NinjaTrader and MotiveWave, not only can you expect auto optimization, but you can expect auto optimization even in higher capacities. So I think this version of the indicators will be even better on NinjaTrader and MotiveWave. Now for TradeStation, again, like TradingView, is a little bit limited, but there still is some moving room, some wiggle room to create some sort of auto optimization. But I would not foresee that it reaches the capacity of even TradingView, maybe something like half of the capacity. So there might be some sort of auto optimization for TradeStation. For Thinkorswim, it's even less, unfortunately. It's an old platform. It doesn't have a lot of capacity in its scripting language. There will be auto optimization to some extent, but it won't be testing 10 configurations, 20 configurations. It might be 2 or 3 from what I can tell. So for all platforms that we can kind of foresee, there will be some sort of improvement to auto optimization, but TradingView, NinjaTrader, MotiveWave, TradeStation, MetaStock, these are the top ones, and MetaTrader as well, if I didn't mention that already, will be the top auto optimization platforms.
Correct. Great. Thanks, Nicola.
Great. That was a great overview. Thanks. We have a question from John. He wants to know what time frame works the best. I think all time frames are supported, but if you wanted to expand, Daniel, please.
Yeah, so whether you're a day trader, as I mentioned before, or an investor, of course, you will be using very different time frames, but our indicators, they work on each of these. It's just a matter of using the right parameters, which has become very easy for auto optimization. And I can't really answer this question because they work on all these time frames. And sometimes it's inexplicable. As I mentioned, as you see at Microsoft, 4 hours, for some reason, just works so nicely for that symbol. But perhaps on a different symbol, Apple, 15 minutes works really nicely. Volatility Crusher can be used super nicely on the 1 minute time frame of NQ, the NASDAQ futures. For example, we have many day traders and scalpers who use this indicator for day trading futures. And it really depends on which symbol you're looking at and which indicator you're applying. And that's just it. But it's very easy now to find the symbols which are working. And this is all the information you need to know as a trader to plan out your next trade.
How frequently does auto optimization occur?
You will always see it on the chart. So let me just go back to the chart here. So with every new bar that comes in, here we are on the 15-minute time frame. So every 15 minutes, a new bar is generated. Should that bar entail a new signal, it will be considered in the auto optimization feature, and you may see a different optimal settings. It's not very likely because chances are the next bar will not change anything, because our look back period in this case is from this is a 15-minute chart from mid-August, so a 15-minute more or less, will probably not change anything, but these are updated on the fly all the time. and which is important because you may trade on a 1 minute time frame where you get new bars much more frequently, and you would like this information to be updated all the time. Anything else, Holmes?
Yeah, I'm just going through these. There's a lot of questions. What risk-reward ratios are used for optimization?
Okay, so to understand this, it's basically it's optimized based on our long efficiency and short efficiency statistics. Whatever gives the best statistics for these two values will be deemed optimal. And these statistics, what they mean, they are basically success rates. We compare our exits with our entries and basically then determine whether this exit was a winner. So here we had a winner, winner, winner. And then we see how many exits that we have all together. And then you basically just see the ratio. It's basically the win rate.
Yeah, so there's no risk reward taken into account exactly, especially in Divergence Cloud and 1-2-3 Strike. Because we do not set a risk reward ratio at the outset of the trade. It's just based on the win rate.
That's right.
For Volatility Crusher, we do have targets and stops, so you can control your risk reward ratio when you're optimizing.
That's right. And also the reason why we don't calculate things like profit factor or risk reward or whatever is because we don't know. This is just an indicator. It's not an automated strategy. We don't know how many you take off the table at every exit, for example. We don't know what your position sizing is and so forth. So without this information, it cannot be calculated. And this is why we use the win rates by comparing the exits to the entries.
Okay, great. Raj wants to know if this affects the scanning capabilities at all.
So scanning is not possible in TradingView, unfortunately. It's the most requested feature for TradingView. But in its current version, TradingView does not have a custom scanner. I'm positive this will change in the future because TradingView is expanding very quickly. It's probably coming at some point. There's no date that I could tell you, but I'm pretty sure it will be coming. And once this is available, we will include scanning capabilities for TradingView. For other platforms, however, for example, Metastock. Metastock probably has the most powerful scanner out there. You can already scan right now for buy and sell entry signals for the power bundle. And they will even tell you in the scan results for Metastock what are the statistics for a particular symbol. So this is very important because let's imagine you scan through, 3,000 stocks, you perhaps get 100 hits. Now you have 100 buy signals. Which one of them should you choose? Well, with Metastock, you see in the scan results which of these buy signals have had, historically speaking, the highest long efficiency. And then you can just sort it and rank your signals and just analyze the ones with the highest efficiency.
And Daniel, also with our super trend bullseye indicator, we already have auto optimization, which functionally works with the scanner in NinjaTrader and MotiveWave.
Yeah.
And similar thing on Metastock. So once we have the auto optimization for all these power bundle indicators on NinjaTrader and MotiveWave, the scanning capabilities are just what you would imagine they would be. So you would get not only your scan results, but they would also be auto optimized for the best inputs.
Correct.
Okay. And just to clarify, when we're talking about scanning, auto optimization has no effect on the scanning. The scanning is based on the platform. So whatever those platform capabilities are, that's what determines whether they're scanning or not.
Actually, Holmes, well, this is correct. But what we are trying to do, and we've ran some prototypes of Super Trend Bullseye, for example. And for those of you who don't know what Super Trend Bullseye is, it's an indicator which it's also available in our online store, which has auto optimization built in. And what we tried there with NinjaTrader, for example, is that the scanner in NinjaTrader will use different settings, the optimal settings for each symbol it scans through. So for example, for Microsoft, it would use the settings of just making them up 5 and 10, whereas for Apple, it may use 2 and 8 because 2 and 8 was deemed better than 5 and 10 for Apple. So this is still a research topic for us, but we're working on, for some platforms where it's possible, to have what we call optimized scanning, where we use the optimal settings on a per symbol basis, because typically in a symbol scanner, the same settings will be used for the scan. So you use the same settings for Apple, for Microsoft, for IBM, and so forth, but which may not be optimal for that particular symbol. So what we are working on is, do you actually use the optimal settings for every symbol that you scan through? But it's in the working, but it's definitely coming at some point for some platforms where it's supported.
Barry wants to know if it works even in super scalping like CL on 3 or 4 range charts.
Yeah, so we have many day traders who use range bar charts or Renko charts for the day trading. I don't know about CL in particular, but I know it's been used a lot on ES and NQ.
Okay. Edward wants to know when we anticipate having this upgrade available for NinjaTrader. Now, so Edward, we're working on it. Our goal is to have it available in about 4 weeks' time, but please don't hold us to that because it depends on testing and how long that takes, because we like to do a thorough quality test on all of our products. So I would say in about 4 weeks, but if you want, if you already know that you do want the auto-optimized version for NinjaTrader, please email us. Because we can lock you into the lifetime access special rate.
That's right. Okay.
I'm still going through these questions. Could we hang on, Daniel, for 5 more minutes to answer some more questions? Okay. Let me see. Are signal alerts available for the small universe of futures that I trade, 8 to 10?
Oh, yes. So if your TradingView subscription allows you to be alerted or has alerts included, it depends on which level you have in TradingView, then yes, you can definitely have alerts.
Daniel, can you please type in our email address into the chat, since you're the one that has access to everybody?
Yeah, if you have questions, just email us at info@tradingindicators.com. Hope I don't make a mistake. Trading. Okay, there we go.
Okay, does auto optimization continue calculating, and will it revise and update over time?
Nicola, can you address this question?
Yeah, so auto optimization in its current state is basically always showing you what the best results will be on your chart in a panel. So at any moment in time, it's, every tick that comes in, every bar that comes in, it's always recalculating what are the best settings over the look back period at this moment in time. It'll always show you that, and it'll always tell you that. But it's up to you manually at the moment to decide when you want to actually apply those settings to your indicator. So you might apply the indicator at 9:30 a.m. and based on pre-market action or the last, 12 hours of action, these are the best settings, you apply them. Then 6 hours later into the day, into the trading day, the best settings change according to the indicator. All of a sudden, new data has come in. It appears there's a better setup. You can choose either to apply those settings or not. So the indicator is always telling you what are the best settings right now, but it's really up to you to decide when you want to use them. And there are some standards that we've found are generally good if you're automating a strategy. For example, if you're trading on the 5-minute chart, it's often best to reapply the optimized settings, let's say every 4 to 7 days. Different standards of practice like this, but the indicator is always telling you what the best settings are.
Any other questions?
Yeah, can you, as I go through some more questions, we have a lot. Gabe wants to know if you can show Microsoft on the 5-minute.
Yeah, Microsoft. So here we have the 15 minutes. It's 1, 2, 3 strike. change to the 5 minutes. And you'll see it will recalculate. You see right away that because of that time frame change, the optimal settings are now auto 8. It used to be auto 4 for the 50 minutes. So I will then switch over to auto 8, apply it, and it will give you now the new signals for auto 8. By the way, if you're interested in trying it out, we do offer for this package a 7-day money-back guarantee. So if you're hesitant and perhaps want to give it a try yourself, see how it performs on certain symbols that you're interested in, you can just give it a try. There's literally no risk on your end.
I'm curious, Daniel, what happens if you apply ETH, extended hours, on IBM here? Oh, sorry. Were we supposed to be checking out Microsoft? We're on IBM right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Late night for you, Dan.
Time for a beer. No, I'm kidding. Okay, here we go. So auto 3 is the best setting. So let's go to auto 3, apply it. And let's see what the
5041. Oh, nice gain. Okay, 61, 68.
Yeah.
So we had a nice long there at the end with those two exits. We longed there 226, closed out in the 230s today. We had a little losing short there at the start of the 13th.
Yeah.
And a nice little long before that, a decent short here. Nice short there.
Yep.
And some up and down trades here in the sideways action.
Yeah, I hope everybody stayed safe today. It's been a very volatile day. I think Nicola ran some statistics internally for us today, and he determined today was the
Dow 30 had moved so hard and so fast that this hasn't been precedented since the COVID crash. So this was like the biggest bounce day on the hourly chart for the Dow 30 and some other indexes, for the past 2 years. So it must be indicative of something.
Yeah, since COVID, crazy. So I hope
Nicola,
everybody stayed on the right side of the trade today, or out of the market.
Nicola, this might be a question for you. Can we set up automatic trading with Ninja Strategy Builder?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. No matter whenever you have an indicator in NinjaTrader, whether or not, depending on the complexity of the indicator itself that you're building your strategy on top of, it might not work 100% as you're expecting it to in the strategy builder and in historical tests. And NinjaTrader actually has disclaimers for this because they cannot predict how their calculations will actually work out historically. But based on the actual signals that our indicators are generating, you can always 100% guarantee that a strategy you build on it properly will actually trade those reliably, as best as NinjaTrader can. So there's no problem building your strategies based on our indicators in NinjaTrader.
Yeah, and if you go to our YouTube channel, we had a TechTalk before the summer about this topic where we're building a strategy. I forgot which indicator it was. I think it was 1, 2, 3 strike, but perhaps it was Divergence Cloud. We are building a strategy using the NinjaTrader strategy builder for 1, 2, 3 strike, I believe. And we give you step-by-step instructions on how this can be done using the strategy builder of NinjaTrader. And it's super powerful because you don't need any programming knowledge to use it, which makes it very effective.
Definitely.
Okay. How well would 1, 2, 3 strike have worked on ES today? Dan, can you show that?
Yeah, I think ES will be a challenge for every indicator today.
1, 2, 3. Maybe Divergence Cloud would do better than 1, 2, 3 strike because there wasn't so much of a defined trend today.
Yeah,
here we go. It lost. That's predictable. It lost on the short. And what is this? The 5 minute.
It sends the strong trend to the downside after this bar here. But so you lost that trade, but you definitely made up on it to the upside easily.
And not a big loss there either. What are we shorted at 35.20, closed out at 35.42, and then we took the long from 35.40 all the way till 36.80, and we're still not closed out.
Yeah.
That's quite good. And that's not even on the optimized settings. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Homa?
Homa?
I was muted, sorry. A bunch that I'm typing to get through. Maybe Nicola, you can help with the Q&A box so we can get through them. Nothing for live, but if you guys have a question that hasn't been answered, just hang on for another 2-3 minutes so that we can get those answered. I think we can close it off, Dan, but just keep the window open if you can.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Once again, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. The email is in the chat, and I already see some emails coming in. So I will definitely get back to all of you either tonight, if I still have some energy, or at the latest tomorrow. And yeah, I invite you to check it out. For TradingView, this lifetime special will go away. It's part of us growing as a company. So a lifetime option is not feasible in the long run. Why is that? You may wonder, because we always want to provide the best customer service as possible. And this just requires us to invest time to answer every question, every technical question as thorough as possible. But as we grow, we cannot keep on doing this for clients, for example, who bought the indicator like 10 years ago, because then, we're just going to max out our capacity. So we're moving to a different model for that reason. But if you move fast and go for the lifetime option, you will be grandfathered into this lifetime deal. And then we will answer all your questions as thoroughly as possible, even if you purchased the indicator 10 years ago. All right. So with this, I'll let you guys have a nice evening or a nice morning or wherever you are, or a nice night. I saw some clients from Germany on the chat. So have a nice night, and see you in 2 weeks for our next Tech Talk. And the topic will be Confluence. And it's super exciting because we did another big study over the summer, and we answered the question, what if, let's say, Divergence Cloud and 123 Strike give a buy signal around the same time? Will this make the signal stronger? Will it change anything? Well, if you're interested in this, join us again in 2 weeks at 6 p.m., 2 weeks on Thursday, and watch out for the invitation. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, Daniel.
Bye-bye.